Well, this is Ardingly Reservoir, as you can see. Look how far it's gone down. I reckon we're 25, 30 feet low. It's normally around 40 feet plus and 60 feet in places here at Ardingly Reservoir. There's Phil and his dad Graham here from the post office. And of course there's some places dug out, so she's 60 feet in some places where they dug the clay for the dam. Here's the dam end here, what's around 20 odd feet, 25 foot dam here, and that's all. As you can see, the water is 25, 30 foot down at a rough guess. And there's the water trickling towards the castle bit. Was obviously our different levels, probably every 8-10 foot down. There's a pipe to whatever the height of the dam is in the summer. But this is very, very low, almost equivalent to when they built it in '76, when we had a very dry summer. So it took ages and ages to fill up, almost like it were in its first stages. More like a beach in Brighton here, and you think they're going crabbing down there. Look, right down there on the line, almost like the coast. And you can see the outline here of the reservoir going towards the Ardingly Causeway. It goes over to West Hill, to Borkham. It's no different. We are many, many feet down here. End of November. I dare say when the weather does turn, it will not stop raining, probably. But there we are. There's some men there fishing. I dare say it's quite a concentrate of fish here in such a small area of water, because some of the fish now, carp and pike, are coming up towards between 30 and 40 pounds, probably closer to 40. So you've got some very large fish in this area, but small quantity of water. So the concentrate must be quite great here for the fish. I dare say she must be 15, 18 feet, if not more, in places at this deeper end. But like I say, some places are 60 foot, but average is 40 foot on this reservoir. There's still a fair bit of water, but it's less than third full. But then, with the amount of people in the amount of years of '76 up to the present date of almost 2012, the population's probably doubled or more in this area. So we're needing a lot more water. Plus there's been less and less rain over the years. The weather machine is changing slowly everywhere. But there we are. Nature normally levels itself out. Well, there's a few freshwater swan mussels, like mother of pearl. There we are. So the water's still pretty clean here and fairly pure, almost equivalent to a freshwater oyster. Freshwater is more like an oyster, but a freshwater oyster, sorry. There we are. Mother of pearl. There we are. So the water is in bad condition to see some of these. The wind's blowing a bit hard and a bit fresh today, but it's the end of November. Well, I've never seen freshwater sole, but there we are. You never know, do you, what you're going to see? Well, here's the drop off here. What goes down 25-30 feet to the water's edge, because as I say, there's some very, very deep areas in this reservoir, up to 60 feet in all. You don't need to get too close to the edge, because there's some quite sheer drops where they've extracted the clay, and it could be very deep, some of the silt, like quicksand, so you've got to be very careful where the water has been. Now you can see the depth of this valley here, with Graham and his son on the bank here, look. That's the causeway over there. What's West Hill Borkham. And of course there's pipes well below the line of the absolute arch of the main road. The water does go under the arches, but there's pipes lower than that, so obviously when the water goes down it can still trickle underneath the levels of the reservoir level, so it keeps an average level for the water. A lot of the gulls and that in the heyday with lots of fish. Easy pickings now the reservoir's so low. But I say, where the pipe is, it's much lower than the bridge where the normal water flows. That would actually go up to Wakehurst there. The water flow there comes from Wakehurst Lake, where the bridge is for the main road of West Hill Borkham. So that finger is probably hardly any water in it, just a narrow bit as a stream like it were originally when I was a young boy. And that's the Borkham end, where you can hear the Canadian geese. Just a small stream through that area. And that virtually concludes the mapping out of Ardingly Reservoir, what started 76 in that steaming hot summer, the turning and start of the irregular weather patterns. There was over 3,000 trees come out of here to make this reservoir. Cost over £3 million to build. Don't know what it would cost now. Don't know if they found anything. Probably fishing hooks or something like that. But this valley was roaring with bonfires and machines in 1974 of extracting the timber, big bulldozers pushing soil in different areas to make up the areas. and you almost see the reconstruction of the area of the reservoir this many years on. They had to take out a lot of the roots because it taints the water, especially oak roots, so they had huge bonfires. Masses of clay to build the dams and the causeway over there, what we already just seen. The human race is certainly at the mercy of Mother Nature, whatever her powers to be this modern day and age, and technology. We're certainly stranded, whatever nature wants to be. It's lovely, the peace of a Sunday afternoon. Graham there is filling up the reservoir. It's going to take some filling up, but there we are. Yeah, so there we are, the phantom flasher of Ardingly Reservoir. There we are, this is the Westhill Boreham Causeway here. There was a car stuck in the reservoir, it hooting then. So there we are, that's the remains of the reservoir, almost like it were in 76 when it was all pushed up together and completed. Bit uncanny this is. Quite a big basin here they took out. Just like the tide's out. The way the water's going on, all you end up with is a dogfish, look. There we are. Here's the art. There's part of a fish here, look. You can see. There we are. Have you? You got another chest there? That's probably what tools were kept in for spanners and that for the vehicles, for the construction. They are. They found something here with their machine. I found a nice bottle of Brighton Dairies going back a number of years. It's been gone. Well, my neighbour's 93 and she remembers Brighton Dairies when she was a youngster. So I found a bottle from the past already. Found something in here. It could be
This is the big one.
Blackbeard's treasure.
Or grey moustaches.
Yeah. The galleon is gone because there's no water for it. So they've buried the treasure. It might be the tap to turn the water on.
The plug.
Yeah, there's a few remnants of where the bulldozers pushed up some of the areas. Didn't smooth it off. There's still timber where they had bonfires, huge bonfires, and there's still a few remains of the piles of timber. There he is, look. And of course there's a lot of tyres where they obviously made the fires. So they had hundreds of tyres, well obviously they wouldn't do now, and use tyres. Cool. But there we are. Extraordinary. I'll zoom right round to here so you can see the vastness of the areas and scrapers that pushed all this out. taking soil one bit of the area and taking it elsewhere to the causeways with 30-ton, 40-ton crushers to compress the soil and clay. And if we look over here, this is on the causeway for West Hill Borkum, and this is the end where Wakehurst Lake feeds this area. No water at all this end, extraordinary dry. Hey? There we are, just mud flaps here. Lots of herons here, obviously easy pickings where the shallow water is, with a small fry from the summer. Here we are, look at this. Dudley's over here, who lives in the little cottage.
Oh, I wonder if there are any egrets.
Yeah. That was, you know, they were just picking out fish. They didn't have to fish. Yeah.
Well, that's Mr. Dudley Ullman. He's been here all his life in Ardingly. We all go back a long way. The family of the Ullmans I'm related to in a long way round. And they're all over 70 now. Time's flicking on.